What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. For this camera comparison we have the highly anticipated OPPO Find X5 Pro and then we have the highly popular iPhone 13. Just in case you're wondering, the OPPO is the more expensive device out of the two. As always, throughout this comparison we're gonna see a variety of daytime and nighttime sample pictures and videos. We have portrait mode pictures, we have zoom pictures, we have pictures taken with the ultra wide cameras, we have videos filmed at night and much more. Just before we start, make sure to press that like button and let's begin by checking out some portrait mode pictures that I took with both these devices. Alright, so after looking at the portrait mode pictures that I took, it seems that the OPPO X5 Pro does better for the edge detection around the subject. Mostly if you look around Laura's hair and even my hair, the little hair that I have, you will notice that the OPPO does that better. So better edge detection from the X5 Pro when compared to the iPhone 13. Now for colors, the OPPO is using more saturated looking colors, and depending who you ask, some people may actually prefer those saturated looking colors. Me personally, I kind of like the colors from the iPhone 13 because it makes those images look more real, at least in my eyes, because I was in that spot whenever I was taking the pictures. But it depends who you ask. Some people may actually prefer those more saturated looking colors that you're gonna get from the OPPO. But which pictures do you guys like? The ones that I took with the X5 Pro or the ones that I took with the iPhone 13? Definitely leave a comment down below and let me know. Next we're gonna move on and check out some zoom pictures, and here I've done 5x zoom, but keep in mind that the OPPO X5 Pro has a telephoto lens on the back where the iPhone 13 doesn't have a telephoto lens on the back. So everything that you're seeing from the iPhone 13 is basically digital zoom. So of course every single picture that I took with the OPPO X5 Pro will be better because we have that telephoto lens on the back. So for zoom pictures there is really no comparison. The OPPO will do better in every single situation. Next we are moving on and checking out some pictures that I took with the ultra-wide cameras on the back of the two devices. The first thing you'll notice here is the fact that the iPhone has the somewhat wider field of view, so you can see a bit more in the pictures taken by the iPhone 13. The second thing I've noticed is the fact that dynamic range in the pictures taken by the iPhone 13 is better in pretty much all those pictures. So for dynamic range, I feel that the iPhone 13 does better. Now for colors, it really depends what you like. If you want more saturated looking pictures, pictures that are more Instagram ready, I'm gonna say, well, you may prefer the pictures from the OPPO X5 Pro. But if you like more natural looking colors, I feel that the iPhone 13 does better. So it really comes down to you and what you prefer. If you want those more vibrant looking pictures, you're probably gonna like the ones from the OPPO. If you don't want those vibrant looking colors, you may like the ones from the iPhone 13. So once again, leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Which pictures do you prefer with the ultra wide camera? The ones that I took with the iPhone 13 or the ones that I took with the X5 Pro? Next we're gonna move on and check out some pictures that I took with the main cameras on the back of the two devices, and of course all the pictures are taken on auto mode and about a second apart from each other. So the same concept kind of applies for the main camera, so kind of what we've seen for the ultra-wide cameras. With the iPhone 13 you're gonna get better dynamic range in those pictures, and with the OPPO you're gonna get more vibrant, more saturated looking colors. And it really comes down to what you like. I've actually posted some pictures on Twitter without saying what phone took what picture, and apparently more people like the pictures that I took with the OPPO than the pictures that I took with the iPhone. So it really comes down to what you personally prefer. So once again, leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Do you prefer the daytime pictures that I took with the main cameras on the back of the OPPO X5 Pro, or the pictures that I took with the iPhone 13? I'm curious to see what you guys like. Next we're gonna move on and check out some nighttime pictures that I took with both devices. Both devices support a night mode for the main camera and of course for the ultra-wide camera, and all the pictures that you are seeing right now are taken using that night mode available on both devices. And first we are starting with the pictures that I took with the main cameras. So looking at those pictures, it seems that the iPhone 13 has the brighter pictures. So every single picture that I took with the iPhone 13 seems to be brighter. Now, if you look closer, you are gonna notice that the OPPO X5 Pro takes the sharper pictures. So if you'd be to zoom in on any of those pictures, you will notice that the pictures from the X5 Pro are sharper. So technically the picture quality from the X5 Pro is better. Now, with the iPhone, we get more Instagram-ready pictures for nighttime, I'm gonna say, because they look brighter, so they do seem more appealing, mostly for social media. So I think, once again, it will come down to what you want. You want better quality pictures that you're gonna have to edit yourself. You'd probably get those from the OPPO X5 Pro, but if you want more Instagram-ready pictures, I feel that the iPhone 13 will do better for those pictures, and of course that main camera. And lastly, moving on to some pictures taken with the ultra-wide cameras and of course that night mode, well, the picture sharpness difference is even bigger here. So here you don't even have to zoom in, you're gonna notice that all the pictures taken by the OPPO X5 Pro are way sharper than the pictures that I took with the iPhone 13. And even though the iPhone 13 continues to have the brighter pictures, the quality of those pictures isn't that great. And I've said that many times in the past. Ultra-wide camera and the night mode on the iPhone 13 is not that great. So me personally, I feel that the OPPO X5 Pro does better for nighttime pictures than the iPhone 13, even though the iPhone 13 does have the brighter looking pictures. But if you zoom in a little bit on those pictures, you will notice that those pictures aren't that great. So once again, leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Which pictures do you prefer for that night mode and of course the main camera and the ultra-wide cameras? Alright, and next we're gonna move on and check out some sample recordings that I've done with the iPhone 13 and of course the OPPO Find X5 Pro. Both devices can do 4K at 60 frames per second with the main cameras and the ultra-wide cameras. Now, for video quality, the iPhone has been the best up until now, and well, it's still the best even in this comparison. I don't think the OPPO even comes closer to the daytime recordings that we are gonna get from the iPhone. So the iPhone is definitely better for daytime recordings, at least in my opinion and my personal taste. For nighttime recordings, the X5 Pro does have the brighter videos, but personally I wouldn't use either device for any nighttime recordings because the quality is just not that great. So I'll let you guys watch those sample videos and definitely leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Which phone do you prefer for video recordings, the iPhone or the OPPO X5 Pro? Alright, we have a quick recording with the main cameras on the back of the OPPO Find X5 Pro and of course the iPhone 13. For this recording I'm doing 4K at 30 frames per second, but both devices can actually record in 4K at 60 frames per second. We're gonna stop here, we're gonna pan right, I mean left, my other left I guess, and then we'll pan back right. So towards the castle and the sea. And we'll walk straight this way. I'm also gonna start walking a bit faster just so you can see how that image stabilization works on both devices at this resolution. So 4K at 30 frames per second. I'm gonna stop here once again. So yeah, main cameras on the back of the X5 Pro and the back of the iPhone 13 recording in 4K at 30 frames per second. And we are moving on to our second recording with the main cameras on the back of the iPhone 13 and of course the OPPO Find 5X Pro. So if you're using the main camera, as I said earlier, the maximum recording resolution is 4K at 60 frames per second. You can actually do 4K at 60 frames per second with the main camera and the ultra-wide camera on both devices. I'm very close to a castle here. And we're gonna walk towards the water just so you get an idea of the video quality. And of course, when you're recording at 60 frames per second, some phones, I'm not sure how these ones will do because I have to check this footage on the computer, but some phones do lose some of the video quality. So I just wanted to show you how 4K at 60 frames per second recording would also look like. Okay, we are moving on to a quick video recording done with the ultra-wide cameras on the back of the X5 Pro and of course on the back of the iPhone 13. So if you're recording with the ultra-wide cameras on the back of the two devices, they can both record in 4K at 60 frames per second. However, for this recording we are doing 4K at 30 frames per second. So we're gonna pan back right and we'll walk this way. It's also a bit brighter this way. We have the sun to the right. I'm actually gonna pan towards the sun in just a second. So 4K at 30 frames per second with the ultra-wide cameras on the back of the two devices. And we'll pan left. Alright, we have a quick video recording with the front-facing cameras on the OPPO Find X5 Pro and of course on the iPhone 13. Now with the front-facing camera, the maximum recording resolution for the X5 Pro is 1080p at 30 frames per second, where of course with the iPhone 13 we can do 4K at 60 frames per second with the front-facing camera. So quite a bit of a difference for the resolution that you can select for that front-facing camera. I'm gonna walk a bit faster just so you can see how the image stabilization does while walking a bit faster, of course. And we're gonna go left, so this way. I have the sun right behind me, and we'll walk this way. Alright, we have a quick video recording in light between the OPPO and of course the iPhone 13. For this recording I'm using the main cameras on the back of the two devices and recording in 4K at 30 frames per second. As I mentioned earlier, both devices could also do 4K at 60 frames per second. We're gonna walk this way. It gets a bit darker around here. And I can definitely see way more on the screen of the OPPO compared to the screen of the iPhone 13. So brighter videos overall. But again, we'll have to see how this footage actually looks on the computer. We'll keep walking this way. So it gets pretty dark around there. We'll see how both phones look when we get here. Oh wow, massive difference here. On the screen of the iPhone I can't really see anything, but on the screen of the OPPO I can definitely see way more. So a pretty big difference for these low light recordings, at least what I'm seeing on the screens here. So yeah, main cameras and 4K at 30 frames per second. We are moving on to a quick video test done with the ultra-wide cameras on the back of the two devices. Now again, I'm recording in 4K at 30 frames per second, and I can't really see anything on the screen of the iPhone 13, probably because of this light is right in front of us. I'm gonna pan left. Oh, actually we cannot see anything on the screen of the iPhone 13, even like this. So I can see way more on the screen of the OPPO for the ultra-wide camera, and once again recording in 4K at 30 frames per second. I can't believe the difference that we get for the ultra-wide cameras. So yeah, ultra-wide cameras on the back of the two devices and 4K at 30 frames per second. So what do you guys think about those sample videos? The iPhone is pretty much unbeatable. There is no other phone that comes even closer to the video quality that we get from the iPhone during the day. But once again, leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. Next, we're gonna move on and check out some selfies. And of course, we are starting with some daytime selfies. Now, for daytime selfies, both devices do equally good, I'm gonna say, even though I do prefer the selfies that I took with the iPhone 13. As for nighttime selfies, as I said many times in the past, neither device does that great. So personally, I wouldn't take any nighttime selfies. But once again, leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts about those selfies. So there you have it, the OPPO Find X5 Pro and the iPhone 13. Even though this is more expensive than the iPhone 13, is this better? Is it worth it? Definitely leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. Alright guys, hopefully this video was useful. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.